Having done many videos on dividend investing and value investing, which is an old forte, I'm trying to talk something about growth investing. Look at a person who has invested in, say, Amazon, Alphabet, Tesla, Apple, right, or even Microsoft during some phases. It's going to be very difficult to hold on to these shares because you think of many other problems which could arise. These are not shares where you can say, oh, mean reversion will happen. If mean reversion were to happen, these shares price would actually go down. They would not go up. But what have they done? Or even say, I'm not putting Zoom in the same category because Zoom has got now too many competitors. But the thing is, these companies have done well in the past. They've grown very well and they are growing fast at a bigger and bigger base. Now that is something which people like me are unable to understand. So I always said that the human mind cannot understand a very big animal running towards them very fast. We don't understand that. We have not been chased by elephants, maybe, I don't know, something has happened. So we can understand a small animal moves towards us very fast. We don't understand a big animal moving, and that is the reason why we have so many train accidents. People are unable to predict the speed at which the train is approaching them. So I never thought that these companies would reach such huge scale and still be growing at 30%. So now I have to change my version of the story in my head and say, oh, look, these companies are going to be value investing material 10 years from now. Yes, these companies will have a huge market share. They will be doing very well. So therefore it is worth holding. Do I have these shares? Yes, through funds which invest in US. I'm invested in all these shares. So these are through mutual funds. I don't have direct investment in equities in the US. So yes, I have momentum, I have growth, I have value. I have all three US styles. I have shares of Berkshire Hathaway coming through scheme. So yes, I'm well invested in the US, but I'm looking at these companies and saying, look what amazing growth has happened and there's no signs of slowing down, right? So big companies growing at a fast pace. This is not buying at any price, BAP or GARP or this is not momentum investing. This is not I don't know, it sounds very odd, but these are growth shares. But to me, these are deep value investing because value will be created through growth over very, very long periods of time. So the question of being alert is very important. Far more important is the ability to understand how to react to bad times, because these shares have given a very good return, but they have given stomach churning volatility as a byproduct, right? So let us say you were to buy a Nykaa or a Zomato at 160. What would have you done? Would you have sold it at 150 saying that is my limit, or say no, I think I will go down to, when it went to 130, what would have you done? When it went to 47, what would have you done? Those are the questions you ask, because these shares, including Zomato, not exactly in that list, but saying these shares will perhaps give good return or they will be completely wiped out, right? Crest Animation was thought to be the Infosys of in the animation business, just vanished. You put money in Infosys, you found some common people there, you found investing brains coming in there, but well, that company just vanished. So these things will happen. United Group completely vanished out of Hyderabad, right? GTB vanished. So all these things will happen. So the ability to buy at low prices and hold on through the journey, right? An extremely long, wildly fluctuating, huge standard deviation journey is not going to be very easy. One more problem with the growth theory, growth value, growth way of investing is you know that these companies can build scale. What level of scale is enough? For example, right now I believe at least 80% of the world ad revenue goes to 2-3 companies, right? They dominate it like anything. You have channels like YouTube which are today very big advertisers, right? No, ask me, I should know, right? I create these videos and so many ads of mutual funds, etc. keep flowing. I'm sorry, but when you're watching, I'm sure you're seeing so many ads. What is Google trying to do? What is YouTube trying to do? They're trying to build scale. So one very important question for a growth investor to answer is what scale? How much scale? And what scale is enough? Will they cover the whole world? Will there be legislation against such domination? Is YouTube manipulating you into watching what they want you to watch rather than what you want to watch? There are times when you should just completely shut down YouTube and restart and start watching completely irrelevant things, right? You're not interested in motorcycles, watch motorcycle, watch football, watch cricket, watch baseball, watch everything, and confuse the algorithm. Do something like that, because otherwise they'll keep giving you such mediocre stuff based on your choice, right? So what will this mean? That people will say, okay, I will just stay away from YouTube, some new other alternative has been created? I don't know. But I'm saying, when you're doing growth investing, you have to answer many of these questions on a regular basis, or say, I'm completely, I will go by momentum and say, if the price falls below 30% of today, the share price is 100. If it falls below 70, I just go out and sell, because I do not know whether, like Silverline, it will go from 1300 to 0, or like Lupin, it will go from 700 to 70 and come back to 700 and then go up, right? I don't know. So at some stage, I have to make the rules and say, yes, I am a value investor, yes, I am a growth investor, these are my rules. If you don't make those rules, and those rules have to be also flexible, because valuing companies with zero cash is not something which we have done in our younger days, right? And I've done some real big transaction valuation, and the final value has been 5-10% of what I said it should be, right? So having said all that, how do you do growth investing combined with your value outlook? It's not going to be very easy. It is one thing to say companies should have scale, so they should know what is happening all over the world. But it is completely different to say, oh, since Subra, since you used a Google phone to speak about a vacation in Australia, we will bombard you with Australian pictures and things like. You somehow feel manipulated when you see ads which you don't want to see, just because you've had a private discussion somewhere, or you sent an email to somebody is picking up all that data. So the anti-feeling to these companies is huge. So if anybody fights, if Government of India tomorrow fights with TikTok or Amazon or anybody, I think people will be on the side of their government. Is there a chance that Amazon will be asked to pay for a paid Amazon tax? Well, it may be good or bad, but it is possible. Will people suddenly come and say, do you really need Amazon to buy books because of the way they pack a book, right? I'm not worried. I get good prices, no doubt about that. But the way a book gets packed, so much of corrugated paper gets wasted, and you just rip it and take it, and then nobody wants that cover, right? That cover is very rarely reused. I have no clue what happens to the cover, right? So some of these people, some of the younger people might say, no, these people are destroying too many trees and forests, so let me not use their services. Is it possible? Perfectly possible. Is it possible that governments act against you? Perfectly possible. Is it possible that governments puts an extra tax for deliveries? Perfectly possible. What happens if the government says, okay, private couriers will start paying extra tax? Will it force Amazon to go and use the postal department? If they do use the postal department, does the postal department benefit? Is Amazon already using the postal department? We would not know. We would not know or have answers to all these questions, right? That makes it more and more difficult to be in growth investing, saying how much scale. Do you want a company to have 80% market share in China and 80% market share in India? That company is going to be huge, even if it is not there in US, right? So at what stage will you think, oh my God, I think the prices should fall because the economies of scale are not kicking in, right? So it's very difficult for us to answer all these questions with growth investing. That's the problem. With value investing, you know that the money, or rather with dividend investing, you know the dividend is coming back to you. So you say, okay, I will take all the dividend that I'm getting from Google and Amazon and buy GSEC. Right? That's the only way I can protect myself, is to say, okay. But what happens that till these companies start paying meaningful dividends, you are just an angel investor or a venture capitalist waiting for the growth to start meaningfully give you returns in form of dividends or buyback, right? So growth investing has its problems. There are a lot of such issues. Amidst all this, you have to create your growth portfolio. I am not saying it is very easy, but I think it is worth doing. Thank you.